to the Stitchberry YouTube channel and episode 8 of the Stitchberry podcast. It has been a while. I think the last episode I recorded was back in December, so it has been a while. There's been just a lot happening with projects and just life. Didn't obviously mean to take a 3-month break from podcasting, but here we are. It is a very cloudy and rainy day today, which I love. You guys know that I absolutely adore cloudy, rainy weather. It is my favorite. So very happy to have a nice cozy day at home. And are we surprised? We have my iced coffee. Super cute. This was a gift. I know that person they got it off of Etsy, but it has my name and it has my birth month flower. So this is like my favorite cup ever to drink all of my coffee out of. I'm feeling very rusty. I have not filmed a YouTube video, I think, since January, so bear with me because this could be rough. But that's okay. I've been trying to film a transition from the intro to finished projects for the last 5 minutes. This is going to be a really rough episode. So we're just going to go with this, and feel free to grab a cup of coffee, tea, water, your preferred beverage, and a project, because I can only watch these types of videos when I'm working on a project. Because like I'll be like, oh, like my favorite, you know, knit and crochet YouTuber, they just released another episode, I should watch it. But then I'm like not in a position where I can watch it, where it's like I'm working on stuff. And so like if I want to watch something, like I don't want to watch that because it'll just make me want to knit and crochet. So grab your beverage, grab your projects, and let's dive right in. If you have been watching since the very beginning of the Stitchberry podcast, which I think the first one was back in May, I think I had started on a knit tank top and I never finished it, and it kept popping up in podcast episodes until I think probably like September. I was eventually like, I don't want to work on this anymore because it's fall. So I just kind of like put it in the back burner, and I did not work on it until a few weeks ago. I was like, I want to finish this for spring and summer. So I pulled it out and I worked super hard on finishing it because I was also like almost done with it too. So I know it's white, so it's going to get washed out a little bit, but here she is. This is the Ella tank top, I think by Madison Marie. So cute. I did modify the pattern, so I did the front the exact same, except in the pattern it calls for worsted weight yarn and whatever needle size for that. I don't know what needle size, I don't remember what I used on this, and I'm using Cascade Yarns Cotton Pima, something like that. And so and that was a DK weight, so I went up to I think either a large or an extra large, and it fits great. I'm really happy with how it fits. I'm not going to put it on right now because I don't feel like it, so I'm not going to. So I did the front, how the pattern calls for, and in the pattern, the back is like the exact same as the front. It has a V. I didn't want that. For the back pattern, I followed everything, including like the decreases right here, except I didn't do the decreases in the front. I just kept knitting straight across while still doing these decreases until it had me stop doing that. And then I kept knitting straight some more, and then I cast off these back stitches and I worked the straps and I decreased until I had the same number of stitches that I had on the front. Seamed everything together and called it good. I'm obsessed. It fits really, really great, and I'm really, really happy that I knit this and I have it for this year. I think it's going to be great. And when I stopped working on it last year, I had the front done, and the back I was probably somewhere in here because I know I had quite a bit of the back to knit, so I was probably right here. So I got all this done in the past few weeks, which is great. However, knitting is not my thing, so I didn't really look into different types of casting off for this back portion, and I just did a normal cast off because there's only one way I know how to cast off. So my one issue, so yes, this is done, but I don't know if I'm going to fix this. I did block this, and this was rolling down quite a bit, and then I blocked it and really like stretched it and pulled it up, and that did help a lot. There's still a little bit of a roll, but I think it'll be fine. I don't think I've tried it on since I've blocked it, so I need to try it on again to see how it looks. If not, I might try like rolling it back and then just like whip stitching that back. But other than that, she's done, and I love her, and I know that I'm going to wear this so much this year. Another very small project that I've been working on, this is like so small, is apparently I'm like obsessed with coasters right now. So I made these little plaid coasters. If you've ever been to my blog or looked at my patterns, you will know that I have a whole like Darlin plaid pattern collection set of just different patterns where I use this slip stitching to create this really cool plaid pattern. And I have several different patterns, from like washcloths, tea towels, pillows, a pumpkin. I think that might be it. And I just had some scrap yarn and I just created these, and it's like such a simple pattern. I didn't even feel like it was worth writing up a pattern, making a whole blog post, so I did just quickly write it up in a little cute little graphic, and I posted it on Instagram. So I will have the post linked in the show notes, and the show notes and everything I talk about will be linked down below. I should probably say that in the beginning. If you've been around, you know that. So if you want the pattern for that, super quick, super simple, that will be linked down below. And I'm not done with coasters. A couple weeks ago, I went to my first fiber arts festival. So exciting. Literally one of my favorite things to watch on YouTube is the Rhinebeck vlogs and all of the different like fiber festival vlogs. I love watching those. I'm such like fiber crochet knit nerd. I love it so much. It's so weird. Anyways, and I really didn't get that much yarn, but there was this one girl there who had this hand spun yarn, and it was absolutely gorgeous, and I just couldn't resist. I had to grab a skein from her, so I purchased this yarn, and I'll put the full skein up on the screen, and she hand dyed it and hand spun it. It was absolutely beautiful, and I was like, I don't know what to make with this, but I need to make something with it right away. So I made these cute little coasters, literally so pretty. Oh my gosh, those are so cute. I love the colors. And I actually have some yarn left, so I could make another one, but I kind of just want to like hold on to it because it just makes me so happy. So I've been using these a lot on my desk. They're just so much fun. They have so much texture to them, and they have like little sparkly gold thread woven into it, and they're just so much fun. So this was another super quick little project that I made, but I just had to show them off because they make me so happy, and I'm absolutely obsessed with them. My last finished object, this has been, honestly, this is why it looks like I have not gotten anything done in the 3 months that I've not been podcasting, because I have literally been working on this super simple pattern for over a month, like non-stop. This is what I've been working on, and when you see it, you're like, that's so simple. Why did it take you that long? It's called pattern designing, and everything is trial and error, and it takes forever. Even the simplest design takes so much. So, and I actually find that I will, like, I tend to frog and rip out and redo a project a lot more with something, with a design that's super small versus like a garment. Like, For some reason, those are actually kind of easier to design than something super simple. But my next design, which I don't know, it could be released by the time this episode comes out. It may not be. I don't have a date. I don't know. Hopefully the end of March, beginning of April, I will have this pattern released, and when I do release it, I will make sure to link it. Which, are you ready to see my newest design? Super simple, so much fun. This is the Betty scarf, and we have so many different versions of the pattern. This one is super long. So let me explain my inspiration for this design. So I love hair scarves and bows and things like that, and so I wanted to create something like that. I actually have, because this kind of was just in this pile of these, and I actually have right here, it's kind of all wrinkled up, the May scarf, which I designed 3 years ago, and I have actually had it tied to my backpack for that long, and I love it, and I wanted to create another version. This was kind of like the first version. It has a tapered edge, so this side is straight and then this one is angled, and this one is shorter. So this one is perfect if you just want to tie a nice simple knot in your hair, something like this, or like on a bag. It's a very simple pattern, which I've learned that crocheters, they like simple patterns. But also when I was designing something, this is so simple, which I love, but at the same time, I'm also creating a pattern that, like a PDF pattern that people are spending money on. This will be a free pattern, but I also like to do a PDF version. So I was like, how do I make this worth something people would like, and how do I make this different from patterns that are already out there? Because let's face it, there's only so many ideas in the world. There are many similar things. I know that like there's similar things out there for this, because this is not a new concept. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard of stories where they're kind of written and they're called like choose your own adventure. So you read a section of the story and then you have an option of, you can either go to this page or you can go to this page. So within the book, you're kind of jumping around the book, and you can read the book so many times and get a different outcome every time. So I kind of liked that concept of like choose your own scarf for this. So I created 2 different options for the end. Again, this one is the tapered one. It has a little bit longer of increases, and then I created a more, oh, that is a hair. And then this one is more blunt and it is pointed. There you go. And this is also the same length as this one. So you have 2 different ends. And then you also have 2 different lengths. So you have this length, the shorter one, and then the very long one. One is kind of designed more for either like wrapping around your hair, like tying it like that, like a headband, if you wanted it like that, or if you wanted to make a bow for either like on a bag or something. This is the length that you would want, versus this one is more for just knotting, like wrapping around a ponytail, or if you do like a half up, or just knotting onto a bag. Was kind of my idea and why I had the 2 different lengths. And then the last part that you can kind of choose is either doing a really just simple clean edging, or you can do a nice little scalloped edging for a fun little detail. So this is what I've been working on for over a month. Crocheting, figuring it out, figuring out the ends, writing up the pattern. I put a lot of thought and time into the pattern, and I really hope that that is evident. All of the work and thought and attention that went into this pattern, because it is so simple, and yet it took me so long to figure this out that I really hope everyone enjoys these. I'm really excited to wear these and put them on literally all of my bags this year. And yes, I will, if the pattern is already released, I will make sure to link it, or once it does get released, I will link it in the show notes. So for all the future viewers who don't see this episode when it first comes out, you can easily access the pattern there. And that is all of the finished objects that I have. So let's get into whips, and I just have 2 to show you today. So, oh, come on. This first one, super simple, not going to talk about it too long. Just a nice simple sock. I'm using fingering weight yarn. These are size 1 needles. I received this yarn. It's a really pretty pink color. It was a Christmas gift. I do know that this yarn was hand dyed, but I don't know the maker. I don't remember. I've had this yarn for several years, so I'm really excited to be using it up. And I'm making these for a friend. I'm kind of concerned that they are not going to fit because they look small. They look really small, and even on me I'm like, ooh, that looks kind of small. But I'm using the same number of stitches that I use for socks for me, and when I was kind of comparing it to the socks that I already have that have that same number of stitches, like mine were like 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch wider, and I think that just comes from wear. So I am going to block these before I give them to my friend and just let her know, hey, it may need some wearing before they start to get really comfortable and they start to loosen up a little bit. So yeah, just a super simple sock. I started this because I was going to the movies, and I like to have a super simple like sock or hat going, just like stockinette in the round. It helps me pay attention to the movie better, and I just enjoy the movie better, and I get a little something done. So I worked on the cuff, and then I think I got to probably like from there during the movie, which is pretty good for me. So that is this project. Super simple. I'm in no rush to finish these. It's kind of just because I just have 2 projects, this one and the other one, which I have been working the most on. It's more when I don't want to work on this one, I work on the socks. So that is that project. And onto the one that I've been working so much on recently. I don't remember if I talked about this in my last podcast episode. No, it would have been my project plans video, or maybe it was the design vlog. I don't know which one. I think it was actually the design vlog where I talked about it. How I want to create a crochet pattern that works really well for an Advent pattern, and in that design vlog I was at the very beginning of this project. If you want to know more about just the intention and the thought and kind of my thought process for that design, you can go back and watch that video because I don't want to talk about it all right now. So I'm just going to show you my progress on the pattern. So I think in that video I was just adding in like the second color, so I was like down here, and this is how much we've gotten done so far, which honestly, considering that I started this like 2 months ago, it doesn't look like that much progress. But I actually didn't work on this for almost a month, mainly because of this. Nothing got done because of these, and I only recently picked it back up after like a month and a half, 2 months of not working on it. And I think when I picked it back up a couple weeks ago, I was on this color, and I've made this much progress, which is honestly really good. For this yarn, I'm at the 8th color, so I'm about a third of the way done, and I'm obsessed. I'm going to be honest, this is just a lot of purple. I normally don't crochet with purple, which, don't get me wrong, I love these colors, but I have so many other colors to add in and that aren't purple, so I'm kind of ready for something different. That's kind of like my motivation, is like I want to get to the next color, which I think that's like one of the fun things about an advent project like this where you're using a whole bunch of minis and different colors. Like, it's just so much fun adding in all of those colors. So the yarn I'm using is from Oak and Fiber. I will have her shop link down below, although I know that she is making a lot of changes to her shop, and I think she is transitioning from selling on her website to selling on Etsy, and I don't think she's going to have the amount of yarn that she used to have. But I will have her website linked down below, and I mean, her colors are just gorgeous. They're beautiful. And I'm having so much fun working on this. It's been a really fun, mindless project. And yeah, I really can't wait to add in the other colors. I think that was literally the shortest project section ever of Crochet Knit podcast in general. That was just so short. Moving on, I want to talk about 2 project plans. This one I'm actually hoping to start this week, maybe even today, who knows. First, I have to actually show you something that I finished quite a while ago. This is the Harbor bag. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. It is one of my favorite bags. I use it literally all the time. I love taking this when I go to work at coffee shops, so I'll just like put my laptop, planner, anything else I need, and it is so sturdy and durable. I designed the bottom. It's like a double bottom, so you crochet like the bottom literally twice, and then you like slip stitch them together, and then you start working the rounds. So the bottom is super durable, the yarn is held double, and with the leather straps it just doesn't stretch, and it just holds everything really nicely. And I put so much in this bag and it holds it really nicely, and I mean, it's still in perfect condition. So I will have this pattern link down below. Did not mean to do a little sales pitch for this bag, but I have a whole skein of this yarn. I used Lime Brand Rewind, absolute favorite bag yarn. So I have I think a little bit more, like I have a whole skein, and then I have some of another partial skein of this color. I didn't want to get rid of it, but I never knew what to make with it, and because this is my favorite bag ever, I was like, you know what, I think I would have enough to make some type of shoulder purse, like something smaller, kind of in this collection. So like this would be like the Harbor bag, that would probably be called the Harbor purse, where I would use the same stitch and the same concept, but just something smaller and kind of something more that you would take like on a night out or something like that. So I'm hoping to start that very soon, and also releasing the pattern this summer. I say I don't think it will take that long to crochet and stuff, but you know me, everything takes forever. But that is a design idea and pattern that I am hoping to work on soon, and just a little something that I hope to release this year. And another project I will be starting very soon, so you guys know that I'm absolutely obsessed with Sorella yarn. I love all of their yarn and just the storytelling they have through their yarn and their collections. They are all so beautiful, so stunning, and I want all of their yarn. And Ashley from Sorella Yarn reached out and asked if I would want to participate in their spring make-along, and it's like, are you kidding me? There's nothing I would love more than to participate in your spring make-along. And also, this is my first spring make-along that I've ever done, which is super exciting. So the make-along starts April 3rd, and they have 2 patterns that you can choose from to make. So one is knit, I believe it's called the Provence sweater, and then the other one is crochet. This is the one I will be making, and it is called the, to be honest, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's the Marin Miri pattern sweater. Yeah, I don't know how to say it. I will put it up on the screen so you can decide for yourself how to pronounce it. So she sent me a kit. She let me choose. So the white, which is their, I forget what the white in their spring tonal collection is. So you get, this is kind of like already a part of the base, but then you can choose your contrasting color because they're doing the spring tonals. I almost chose the green because, you know, green is my color. But I was like, we're gonna not choose green for once and do my other color that I choose all the time, and that is pink. This is Terracotta from their Spring Tonals. I'm so excited for this make along and to make this sweater. Look at these colors together. This is on a brand new base. It's bamboo sock and it is so soft and I'm obsessed and I love it. This is a project that I will be starting very soon. It starts either April 1st or April 3rd. I don't remember. I have to look at the dates. I will have her website and the blog post that has all the information about the make along linked in the show notes. You do not need to buy their yarn to make this make along. All you need to do is make one of those 2 sweaters, so you can just purchase the pattern and you can use yarn that you already have, or if there's some other yarn that you have in mind that you would like to use, you can use that. You do not need to use their yarn. But this is a pretty awesome make along to be a part of because there are amazing giveaways they're doing like every single week of the make along. So there is the make along that I'm so excited about, participating in my first ever make along, which I've thought about doing make alongs in my own community in the past. I just haven't yet. Maybe that's something that I should do in the future. Let me know if you would like to see that. And I just want to start this super soon, and I'm probably going to wind up the yarn before the make along starts, and yeah, so that is another project that I will be starting very soon, and I'm excited to show you all of the progress in the next podcast episode because it's not going to be 3 months until the next episode. And if you thought we were done talking about Sorella yarn, you are wrong. Again, this is literally my favorite yarn company ever. Is it really a Stitch Berry episode without talking about Sorella yarn? I don't think so. This year they are bringing back different collections, and I almost lost it when she brought back the entire Downton Abbey collection, because back when she first released that collection in 2020, Downton Abbey, one of my favorite TV shows of all time, and I really wanted to buy something in 2020 when they first released the collection, but I just couldn't afford it at the time, and that's okay. Like, we live in such a world where you have to buy everything and you don't. So this is me telling you it is okay if you can't buy all the yarn and all the things. It's okay to be content with what you have. Rant over. So I was feeling very fortunate that I was able to purchase a couple skeins from this collection. So I actually just finished watching the whole episode, or the whole series, with my mom. I had already seen the series twice before, and so then this was my 3rd time watching it. So when she was like posting all the different colorways on her Instagram, and I was showing my mom, and I showed her the colorway for Sybil, and my mom like freaked out and she loved it. I was like, okay, I need to get this one. Which also, side note, Sybil is my favorite character, so it was kind of a non-negotiable that I had to get Sybil. So here she is, which honestly I was kind of on the fence about getting her, because I mainly just wanted to get Sybil because she's my favorite character. And you know, blue is not my color. Like, I don't get blue that much, but honestly, I might be becoming a blue person with this color. Like, I'm actually obsessed with this color. It's so beautiful. I don't know. I think I might be becoming a blue person. Who knows? I could not get Sybil without getting Tom. So, I have Sybil and Tom. And if you've seen the show, then you know these two. You know this is my color. Green is my color. So, my plan with this yarn, these just like make me so happy, is I'm going to make 2 pairs of socks. And I'm also going to get some white, and so I'm going to stripe the 3 together. And the white is going to help break it up, these 2 colors. So I'm going to make 2 pairs of socks. One cuff, heels, toes is going to be in blue. The other pair, the cuffs, heels, toes, is going to be in green. And the one that has the like blue dominant as like the main color that uses more of the blue, I'm going to give to my mom. The one that has more of the green, I'm going to keep for myself. And I think that that's just like a fun special thing because we watched the show together. I know my mom really liked this blue, and so giving her socks that have a lot of this blue in it, I know she'll love, and that we kind of have like matching socks. And I just love the idea that we're gonna have matching socks. When will I make these? I don't know. I definitely need to finish the socks that I have here first. That would be a good idea. I'm in no rush. I would like to start these this summer. Hopefully, I don't know. I have so many project plans, but I just had to show these because they make me so happy. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to talk about before I go. I have been, oh, yes, I released the Hazelnut Henley crochet pattern. I will have that linked in the show notes. It has gotten so much love, and I'm so excited that everyone loves that pattern, and it makes me so happy knowing that a design that I worked so hard on and that I had in my head for literally 2 years, and seeing it come to life and see everyone love it makes me so happy. So thank you so much for the love on that pattern. Definitely go check it out. And also on the blog, I've also have been doing my maker diaries, which is a monthly blog post series, kind of sharing a little bit more behind the scenes of being a maker with a business. I kind of just ramble about whatever. I kind of share things that I've been loving from that month, as well as kind of my to-do list and goals for the upcoming month. And I also, back in January, which in January I celebrated my 6-year anniversary of my business, and so I shared my biggest lesson that I've learned in 6 years of running my business that has increased my profits while decreased my burnout. Definitely go check that out because, again, it was literally life-changing when I kind of came to this realization that I talk about in that blog post, and it was totally life-changing for my business and just myself and work-life balance and all of that. So I hope you'll go check that out. If you have a business, it doesn't have to be a knit and crochet business. It can really apply to any type of business. So I hope you'll go check that out. And I think that's all I have for today. I feel like it's gotten darker. Again, it's been like a rainy, stormy day, and I love it. And I hope you all have a wonderful and cozy day.